How are you doing? And I hope everyone have a really great weekend and happy Monday. I would love to welcome everyone to my story Monday meditation class. And I am Pam. I am so happy to be here again as your inner peace moderator. And as usual, our program will start with meditation talk and followed by guided meditation. And before ending the program, we will have Q&A session. So you can ask questions or you can share your meditation experiences with our teaching monk. And today I am very honored and happy to have Monk Pasura back in our program again. And I believe everyone are looking forward to hear a lot more from him. Are you all ready? I believe so. And without further ado, may I please invite everyone pay respect to Monk Pasura by bowing 3 times together. Let's bow. Second bow. And third bow. May I please invite Monk Pasura to begin our session.
Good evening and welcome again to another sessions of the Mind Stories meditation. So today will be my job to share the session with all of you. So I'm seeing a lot of the similar faces, so the many regular meditators that are also coming from different parts of the world. So from my part at the beginning, I would just roughly remind you of the very foundation of meditation before we proceed further with the guided meditation. I always trying to just summarize of them into a couple of things. The first part is that even though you can be a regular meditator or experienced meditator, there is something that many of people have been sort of falling into making mistake, and that is rushing into the process of trying to silence the mind. Let me remind you one more time that our mind cannot be forced to stay quiet. It just doesn't work that way. Human mind is always wandering, is always being full of thought. Therefore, anytime you are being distracted or anytime you have thoughts, there is nothing wrong with you to have any of that. It just means that you notice the state of your mind. And it's actually the very first state of being mindful, and that's a good thing. When you realize you notice distraction, you notice the thoughts, that means you are aware of what's going on. Otherwise, you would have lost in the thoughts. So that is a reminder that your mind function the way it should be. Each time that happens, bring it back to the very starting point. Number two, pushing thoughts away will make you more uncomfortable, more tense, more agitated. Since we're trying to keep ourselves being present, not try to force the mind quiet. And when we try to push something away, it takes force to do so. When we are getting too much involved with the thought, we end up being restless and we cannot really find inner peace. So that is really all about. Each time you notice thought, okay, tell yourself, I noticed that, let me restart by coming back to the very beginning and begin the process again. So that eventually will help you to slow your thoughts down until we come to the silence. In meditation, think of it like a journey. Destination is the inner peace. Your mind is a passenger. Method of meditations are just a transportation. And the transportation requires 2 wheels to move forward. The first wheel is awareness or mindfulness. The second wheel is comfort. If you only have one wheel, it will keep spinning in circles. So you need both wheels to move together in synchronization. So that will help your meditation moving forward until reaching the state of inner peace. Mindfulness or awareness is when you realize what's going on. It can be realizing, I'm feeling comfortable, I'm feeling calm, I'm right here, present moment, I notice thoughts or distraction. All of that are being mindful, and that's a good part. So the second part is that as long as you're doing so, remind yourself that I'm still here, very comfortable, very relaxing. I notice I can just stay like this on this transportation for as long as it takes without feeling the feeling that I'm being forced to be on board. So that eventually will help you to reach destination. Anytime that you feel content, that is a reminder that you're doing it right. Because contentment is when you are not bothered by any distractions, troubles, any whatever has come along. As a result of that, it brings a state of being content. So contentment is what you can be looking for in meditation practice, even though you can have many thoughts, even though you may be feeling sleepy, or even though you can, having so many distractions with what's going on around you. But as long as you feel content with all of those challenges, that means you're here. That means your mind settled. And that is the correct way of meditating. Of course, eventually our mind will come to a state of being quiet. And when it quiet, therefore it becomes peaceful. When it becomes peaceful, it becomes a positive. So that's the process is like. As a result of that, don't push anything. Always start with the mindset that you're taking your time just to be on your holiday and get some rest. That would be the best way to start. So that's only just a bit of introduction at the beginning so that we can follow through with the rest of the meditation method, because I'm sure that you are well aware of how the method of meditation that we use here is like. So without any further ado, let's start from stretching your body. Stretching your neck, your arms, your shoulders, your legs, your feet. That's why I have reminded you to take your time without rushing. So let's begin from slowly adjust your sitting posture before closing your eyes. You may spend a moment to adjust where you are at your seat. Let's turn the attention to feel the floor underneath your feet. Adjust your legs until they are relaxed from your feet to your calves, your knees up to your thighs. Adjust your legs until you feel that the blood circulation can flow very comfortably. Before turning your attention to feel your hands rest on your lap, you may place both of your palms upward gently on your lap without feeling tension around the elbows or the shoulders. Please adjust your back, your neck. Let them be straight and upright. Allow both of your shoulders to drop and rest naturally. Please take your time to thoroughly observe the way you are at your seat, feeling that you are simply settling down right here at this spot. When you find the right posture, there is no resistance or forcing yourself against the gravitational force. You may completely release your body's weight along with the gravity. Release any harm that you may need to kill your body. Allow them to be completely relieved. And when you are in a very comfortable posture, let's turn your attention to feel your eyes close softly without feeling any tensions at the corners of the eyes or any pressure down on the eyeballs. Allow the relaxation from your eyes to fill your forehead down to your temples, down to your nose and cheeks, until that relaxation is felt from your neck to your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your legs, your feet. Allow the entire body to be relaxed. The feeling is just like when you're about to rest after a long day. And here you are, where you just want to sit back, relax, and unwind. So relax every muscle, especially all around your face and all of the joints in your entire body. Make the feeling that you just want to sit back and rest right here at this place where you can lay everything down, where you don't really have to worry or care about any matters. From time to time, you will be distracted by your thoughts or distractions. Anytime that happens, gently turn your attention back here, back to yourself, back to where you are, being relaxed and comfortable. You may take a long, soft, and deep breath in, feeling that gentle in-breath goes down, and exhale very comfortably. Breathe in, let it go down to the deepest point, and exhale. Breathe in, feeling the way your in-breath touches the turning point now at the center of you. Exhale, and free up your mind from any matters, from all kinds of worries or any concerns. For the moment, we are just going to sit back and rest, feeling ourselves breathing in and out deeply, gently, down to the end. As you're breathing in, feeling from the way your breath passing the nostrils is going down, caressing the center point before turning out into a warm out breath for a few times, just like that, feeling it at the end. And with your entire body relax. You may picture yourself sitting alone in an empty and open space without anybody nearby. Just yourself alone right here at this spot, feeling that your surrounding space stretch out all the way to the horizon, 360-degree around you, where you can rest and free up your mind. Here at this place, you are alone and away from all matters and people. This is where you no longer have to worry or care about any demands, any request, any duties or responsibilities. For this moment, it is safe and sound to just sit back, relax, and rest. Allow your mind to be set free from any matters, from any thoughts that you may have been holding on or holding back. Whatever you got on your plate. For now, let's set them aside and allow yourself to rest your body and your mind right here at this spot. Feel the space expand all the way to the horizon. Right here, where no demands or requests can bother you. And you can just sit back and breathe very softly, deeply, and gently. With each breath, allow them to bring your mind back deeply inside. Allow yourself to relieve, to unwind. Observe how relaxed and comfortable you are right here. Whatever is happening, let them be. At the moment, let us sit back and rest with ourselves breathing in and out. Allow relaxation to fill every part and every cell of the body. When you are comfortable, you may notice how your body is turning lighter, hollow, and more spacious, as if the weight of your body withers away. And here you are, empty, weightless, like a balloon which can be set free out there into the sky, far and wide, where there is no constraint, no barricade. So let's relax every muscle with your mind, relieve more and more. Breathe in again, deeply and softly, feeling the way your breath entering to touch the center. Anytime you are distracted, remind yourself that it's just the way the mind is supposed to be, and turn your attention back to where you are relaxed and comfortable, back to be in these beds until you can gently turn it down inside Bring it down to the point where your breath ends at the center of you. Rest your mind deeply inside. It's like we are turning our mind back home after a long journey. And now, as you gently place your attention at your center space within, it just feels so relieved, as if all the weight pressing down on your mind is lifted. So turn it down to feel that center space, to lay there within the cradle of peace, where your consciousness immerses deeply in peace. You may simply maintain your attention at that point for as long as you like. Or you may picture the image of the sun, just like the one in the sky, feeling the presence of warm and bright light inside of you. The sun is the representation of your mind. So let it stay there, warm and bright. Its brightness is radiating comfort that soothes away all disturbances until you feel even more relief. You will know how your feeling is turning lighter and lighter, as if everything is gone and nothing really bothers you. Whatever is happening, they just come and go. Yeah. Sit back, rest, and immerse into the light of inner comfort and peace. So feel the sun turning bright, shining warm, with the relaxation and comfort fill your entire body with peace, joy, and contentment. Fill your mind. Simply stay there. Soak in the warm sunlight. Let the mind stay still upon the cradle of peace. Remain motionless without any action, engagement, or interaction. The path to inner peace does not require engagement. On the other hand, withdrawal, relieving, allow the mind to settle within ourselves, and there we shall find inner peace. Normally, our mind goes on to matters we have in life, things we worry about. The mind always stay with those thoughts and matters. And the longer it goes on, the more tense, the more restless our mind have become. And even though we know that holding on to those thoughts is unpleasant, is disturbing, yet it doesn't seem like we can let go. That is because our mind have been trained to constantly worry. So now, as we coming back inside with this peace, we help our mind unlearn and relearn the skill to be at presence and peace without engaging with any thoughts or holding to any matters too strongly. to keep it still, softly and gently, without challenges, yet you still feel content. It's when nothing bothers you, and you can just be here for as long as you would be here with the center, here with the sun turning warm and bright, calm and comfortable. So feel your center, feel the sun as you may rest deeply in the basin of peace. You may notice the calmness, the spaciousness inside of you. And when you place your attention gently upon the center point of that feeling, you can let that peace energy expand. Let it expand further from your whereabouts to your neighborhood, out to your city, country, and the rest of the world. Like the sun expand, reaching out to every person and creature as we are sharing this peace, whatever out there, where their lives are free from misery and pain, sadness and sorrow. May everyone enjoy everlasting peace and happiness. Let's join our collective peace energy. Let's turn off the volume of peace and let it expand until it touches the horizon and beyond. Let's share this peace energy with our loved one, family, friends, or relatives, wherever they are, deceased or alive. Let us embrace them with this warm touch of peace energy and wish them to be free of pain, sadness, to always be happy and joyful. Feel their presence at the center of your peace energy. as you gently embracing them. Yeah, this energy. Let's turn our attention back to ourselves. Turn it back to our body sensation, our feet, hands, self breathing in and breathing and softly in and out. And slowly stretch your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hands. And when you are comfortable, you may open your eyes and stretch a bit more. Mm. So, I hope you enjoy your meditation. You may also share some of your feeling down on the chat if you like. If you feeling calm, relaxed, you can maybe put number one down. Mm. So, and that's for the meditation part. Mm. Yeah. Or the other part that I have prepared for you tonight is this concept of comparison between what is called intoxication and mindfulness. Actually, the very reason I'm using this term because it refers to something completely on the opposite side of them. One being talking about being mindful or aware of what's going on, the other one is being completely unmindful or lack of consciousness. So the term mindfulness is actually a state of being remembered, recognized, conscious of presence. It's when we recognize what's going on. Even it could be just aware of our future thoughts, plan, past actions. All of these actually when we are being mindful. And that mindfulness is actually important because it keeps us from being restless, being careless. And when we are more mindful when that's when we are able to actually more observant of what is really important significance in our life. Actually, a passage that I'd like to share with you, which is this words on the screen: heedful among the heedless, wide awake amongst those asleep, the wise man advances as swift horse leaving a weak net behind. It's actually the passage from my text that actually talks about when we are more heedful, more careful, we actually more awakening and more prepared than those who are not mindful or not careful. When they are careless, it's comparing to a horse that's still kind of far behind, comparing with the horse that can run a lot faster. That is the benefits of so-called mindfulness. Therefore, being heedful is actually when it's really important. The aspect of meditation, of course, we talk about meditation is the method, the skill that bring us inner peace. But what actually is really the process of that? When our mind stands still, it brings us clarity, and clarity allows us to capture the realization of the truth. What is really important in life? What are priorities? What is the meaning? What are the values? It helps us to get better understanding of reality without fabrication, distortion based on our emotions and feelings that can be negative. And when we are more conscious about that realization of that reality, then we can interact with them more productively. And of course, things that doesn't have to be so big of the deal, we can take it easier. So that's actually being a small state of peace with our mind. So the concept of being heedful, actually one thing that I just would like to remind you briefly for tonight, which is this one. There are something in our text that we should be regularly review, and it's actually talk about 5 subjects: aging, sickness, death, separating from the beloved, and owner of the karma. What does it mean? It means that when we are intoxicated, we are not conscious. So we actually always intoxicated, even though we have not been consuming any alcohol. But we are intoxicated by our youth, our health, our life. Because we forget to look at the reality. And reality is that we're getting older every day. Even though I like to stay young forever, but it won't stay. Reality is that I can't manage to being fit and young for as long as I like. Eventually I will get older, and that also comes getting weaker, getting less energetic, less alert, less prepared. And that's a reality. The youth, the time that we have of being strong is the time that we have now. And it could change, of course, very fast later, which is also number 2, intoxicated by the vanity of health. Now that I'm young and strong, I tend to think that it's going to stay like this forever. I don't really reflect in the reality that I'm going closer to the end of time, which means one day I will not be as strong as I am. I will be sick. I will not be able to do anything that I want to achieve. So I will let those time that I have when I'm strong in vain. And the last part, of course, liable to die, which means intoxicated by the vanity of life. And that means that when the only thing that we know about death is come for sure. I don't know when it's going to come, how it's going to happen, where it's going to be. That I don't know. The only thing that we all know about death is that it's inevitable. Nobody can escape death. That is a reality. So when we are reminding ourselves that, it will remind us the value of time and opportunity that we have. So what is the benefit of that? The benefit of all that is that it helps us to not worry so much about things that don't really matter. I don't know about you, but I have also been living life before I was a monk. And I realized that many times things that are really important to me, people that matters to me, I take them for granted. I should be taking spending more time with people that I care about, my parents, for example, talk with them a little bit more. I didn't. I should have been, focusing on something that helped me to be more productive, study a bit harder. I didn't. I should be focusing on something more productive about myself. I didn't. But I've been focusing on something that really small, something I'm holding on that's, making me upset, or people who make me upset, and not easy to let them go. But when I'm reminding myself of all this, it helped me to be reminded that time is very short. So why would I keep hanging on to something that I can't change, I can't do anything with? So when I decided to understand them and let it go, I can choose what I want to do with my time and opportunity that I got. So that is why the first three is what I want to, from time to time, if you can, to remind yourself, like a little the reviewing that aging, sickness, and death are inevitable. It reminds us the presence of time that we have in the moment that is really precious. So now that you're still in good health, now that you still have the energy and youth, now you still have the available time in your life, what should be something that make your life more meaningful each day? What would be the way you can pursue what so-called happiness and joy, so that if you leave tomorrow, you don't feel regret? There's actually a book written by a nurse in Australia, and she worked in palliative care. And the book is very simple. And the way she was talking about is that so-called the fabricates of the dying. So she was interviewing people who close to death and asked them what did they regret in life. And it turns out something very cliche that we, think is, we know. I wish I spent more time with people I care about. I wish I expressed my feeling a little bit more. I wish I fulfilled my dream. I wish I live a happier life. So people regret that. And that also remind yourself on number 4, being parted from what we hold dear, which means we can't hold on to things forever. People that we come across with, everything that we have in our life, no matter how we hold on to them, one day will be gone. That's a reality. We cannot hold on to things forever. It's going to change. And that's why the last part is be mindful of our own actions, because every action is karma, and karma has consequences. So we can choose how we want to redesign our life every single moment. So these are the 5 things that I just want to let you be reminded from time to time to review. Sickness, aging, and death are just common to me. People that I love, things that I hold on to, they don't stay with me forever. So I should enjoy while it lasts. And the last part, focus on the action that I have in the moment that could dictate my future. So that would be something to be reminded. Recollection of death is one of the practice that we do because it helps me to be more appreciative in the value of life. And time is not very long. It's a capital, and we all have 24/7 equally. No one has more or less. So if you can live up to 75 years old, that will be about only 2.3 billion seconds, which basically, roughly, your heart will beat about 2.7 billion times. That is as fast as your heart will beat for 75 years. So if you hold on to people that make you upset, things that make you, getting too much worry and taking all those time away, you're losing these seconds for something unproductive and unhappy. So therefore, from time to time, learn to let go, learn to detach, and take a look, pause, what really matters in your life, and redesign the course of your life and course of your action, how you want it to be, so that you can focus on spending your time wisely. So that is what I want to share with you tonight. I hope it gives you some reminder and insight. So I think we have a questions from Adele. Said it was a peaceful and enjoying about meditation, and while on a deep meditation state beyond physical eye, I saw a series of images and people with stories. To avoid confusion, how can I identify if they are real or product of my imagination the first time to see the people in images? That's actually a very good experience. So, our mind, the way it works is that everything that comes into contact with our senses, which means sense of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, physical touch, and even mental sensation, it actually sent to the mind and being recorded. And that's what we call memory. So when it reaches to that part, it transforms into images. And therefore, when our mind started to unwind, when it becomes standstill, what happened is decompression, is everything got released. And that's why it could be just your thought that has been there, your imaginations, your many things you have to come across in your life, something that's still there being released. And that's as a result, you'll be able to notice some of these series of images still random. It could be the story. So the vision is real, but what you could see are still mixture from your memory, from your imagination, from etc., that being translated as vision for you to see. First of all, it's a good sign that your mind being still and you're doing it right in your meditation. As long as you find yourself feeling content, very comfortable and peaceful, looking at that, stay with that. Eventually, it will unwind. It will finally stop. But anytime you started to feel getting too much involved, too much that you want to interpret or analyze them, then you're getting involved too much. That's when you should step back and restart. So that is when you know that if there's real sort of imagination at this stage, don't worry about them too much, because otherwise you will lose the stillness and everything will disappear. So the other one from Christina, copy of recording of the story group. Oh, is Japan. All right. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. It's good. Many people, Jeffrey also said that it's very centered during the meditation. Lovely. That's a good job. Remember that each time you're feeling content, that's when you're doing it right. That's really, really the key point. All right. So I don't think there's any more questions. So shall we conclude the sessions?
Yep. Thank you so much, Mangpasura, for amazing session today and spending your valuable time guiding and sharing your wisdom with all of us. And before we leaving, I just would like to have a group photo with each other. So let's take this time sharing your wonderful smile, and feel free to turn on your camera, please. All right, let's smile. Cheers. Happy, smiling, happy, smile. Wow, we can see a lot of people from Plaza Peace Club. Thank you so much. And Godfrey, Innocent, there's a big group behind. Thank you. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. Hope you had a really wonderful experiences and you can share this with all your friends and loved ones. And so before we wrap up, I would like to ask Pastora giving us a final blessing, please.
So may the power of your collective peace energy and good intentions for the betterment of human beings return to you in the form of happiness, strength, and wisdom. You always have the light of peace inside of you to guide you on your path to forever joy and blissfulness.
Sadhu. Thank you so much for a wonderful blessings. And thank you so much, everyone. Looking forward to see each other on on coming Thursday. So for now, have a great day, great night, wherever you are. Take care. See you. Bye.